Good evening. Welcome to the Diablo 3 podcast. We are online at DiabloIncGamers.com. I am your host, Flux, and I'm joined on the show tonight by Amadon.
Hey.
And by Moochie Poochie.
Hi.
Whose name I'll be busy mispronouncing for the next half hour. And how do you say your name properly?
It's Moikai.
And you were on the podcast. This is your first time on the real podcast, so we'll give you a little intro here in a second. But you were on one. I recorded you with two other guys talking about Wave of Trials, and amongst other things.
Yep.
And you were the one who didn't like Wave of Trials, but then you were won over by our brilliant arguments. Is that correct?
Nope.
Okay, good. Moving right along.
Yeah.
So, Amedon, you've been on the show in forever. Tell us what you've been up to lately. We're talking mostly about Season 2 here, so just your general, what were you doing before Season 2, and why should people value your opinion about Diablo 3?
All right.
No pressure.
No pressure, yeah. I loved Crusaders Season 1, and I came back to play for the last couple weeks or so, and it was pretty good. I was appalled that they changed it right at the end of the season, but, they've done worse, so... And then I got through that huge mess of a zillion mails and of storage and lack of storage space. And here we are. I started a monk up for this season because it looks pretty cool with their new dashing strike and exploding everything. And so far it's lived up to it. I got up to 70 Saturday morning, and then... been playing maybe a tad too much, and I'm Paragon 68 already. And I was just in a Torment 2 Rift, and they were like, "Don't leave. We can make Flux wait."
So you were carrying the
You're
Rift,
fine.
basically.
T2, please.
Well, you came back there in about 20 minutes, so we're gonna go quickly here.
But this is hardcore too.
Oh,
well, they're good. They'll feel bad when they die, and you can power them.
Yeah.
So Mukai, give us you were on the podcast before, but not on purpose. You were sort of dragged into it. You didn't know that was going to be a live show, but it turned out pretty well, so I put it on. So give us a little bit of your Diablo 3 background, and then we'll get to Season 2 stuff. So who are you, and why are you important?
all right. Diablo 3. Well, I have played the game since it first came out when, Inferno was impossible. And I mained a wizard back then, and then I switched to monk. And then... probably 3 or 4 months after D3 came out, I started maining a Witch Doctor, and I've been doing that since. Didn't do much of Season 1. I just did Season 1 for the transmogs, but I'm completely in Season 2 now, so that's pretty fun.
So what is your general overall Diablo 3 experience? You said mostly Witch Doctor? Is that what you're playing now?
No, right now, Season 2, I'm running a monk, actually, but would like to think I'm a pretty well-rounded character or player for all the classes. I would say my weakest though is Barb.
Softcore.
I've never liked the Barb even in D2, so it's just something that I guess I just haven't taken the time to learn to play, I guess.
Are you playing all softcore or some hardcore, or what is your breakdown there?
I did play a bit of hardcore. I lost Witch Doctor at Paragon 322 in hardcore, so I kind of stopped because it was heartbreaking. Because, it was a lag death, but it wouldn't be Diablo without lag death, right?
Exactly. That and being screwed by RNG.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
we all had those. Yeah, it sucks.
yeah, so I did that for a while. I know I've only had one character die, but, I got her from, 1 to Paragon 322, so after that I was just like, I'll take a break. I haven't gone back since, but I've got a Witch Doctor, that's 70 or whatever in hardcore. At this point I'm pretty much full-time in softcore. I've got 885 in non-seasons Paragon, and I'm about to hit 199 in seasons.
In Season 2 here?
Yes.
Ooh.
So the big thing in Season 1 was people were all ready for the rush to 70, and then of course there were those various exploits you could do on bounties in softcore at least, where you could just do a T6 and just run up to the miner's gold and then run around the desert until you died.
Yep.
And then you were level 17. Just ding. But they fixed those, at least apparently, and they were putting in hot fixes even just right the morning that Season 2 started. They were posting hot fixes, and from what I saw, there weren't exploits because I was checking with people who were playing it. I wasn't able to play it because I was out doing things in the real world, unfortunately. And when I got home, people were like level 50, 55, 60, etc. And hardcore and softcore seem to be about the same. So did either of you guys see any cheating or quick tricks, or did it take you what 5 or 6 hours to get to 70?
There was, obviously a difference in efficiency depending on what class you played. I did mine in about 6.5 hours, but it was 2 monks and 2 DHs, so the monks were just pulling and palming, and the DHs were taking care of the DPS.
So you had the same party for the whole time?
Yeah, just 4 of us had planned it out the week before, and we just YOLO'd it.
Have you let them out of your basement yet, or are they still locked in there?
They're still here.
Yeah, so they've served their purpose though. So like P500.
They needed to stay around until I got to T6, which I'm rolling through T6 now. So I guess I can let them go.
You can set them free. And how was your leveling pace, Amedon? And do you have moose trained slaves?
Yeah, I don't have any trained slaves. I just picked up from people in the guild, and it's about the same. 6 hours ish. I'm sure I could have done it in 5 if I was. If I'd planned it out the same as I did the first season. And I didn't notice any weird conquests popping up early. I think the first one we saw was on Saturday morning, which was greater F30 or something like that, which was still pretty fast.
Yeah, they took out the conquest to get to level 70 first, so they were obviously trying to de-emphasize the race to 70, which I'm not sure why they would do that. It's like, if we want to race to 70, why can't we, right?
Yeah, I would agree.
But it seemed like it made it more... it put more of a focus on the longer term. Because when I was talking to people before the season started, they were like, I'm not going to race just to get to 70, because who cares? I'm going to do rifts or bounties on the way, so when I get to 70, I've got a bunch of blood shards or a bunch of rift keys. It was more like preparing for the long haul. Did you guys follow that path?
Yeah, I definitely.
Did you think it through? You're like, I'm going to be this at P100, so just getting to 70 isn't a big deal?
Yeah, my group, we just did we did bounties until about 50, 55, and then we had so many rift keys, we just started doing some rifts so that we could stock up some blood shards for level 70. And
yeah, I just did bounties on the way up, just so I have rift tokens to go right away.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys do any crafty stuff with crafting? Or apparently, you can craft. Some suggestions I saw is at level 45, you can start trying to craft a two-handed weapon, and if you get it with a good level reduction, it can be a level 60 weapon. You can craft it at 45 and then use it at 44, that kind of thing. Or you were just grinding along with your friends and not worrying about that kind of stuff?
I did try it, but I had no luck, and you don't have much money, so it's kind of a gamble.
Yeah, I didn't try it just because, I was going pretty well with my group, and we were all, with 2 demon hunters and 2 monks, it was easy to gear share because,
Decks for everyone, yeah.
Yeah, and so, it wasn't, I'm sure if we had tried all that, we would have leveled up a little faster, but, we weren't really racing to level. We were just all kind of drinking, hanging out over TeamSpeak, and just playing the game, just enjoying it.
So you were drinking Mountain Dew?
Nah, man, I was severely
Did you have one of those red or
inebriated.
Blue flavors? Those World of Warcraft red and blue flavor ones? No?
Nah, man.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing a softcore, so you can afford to be inebriated, right?
Oh no, I think that's how I
absolutely.
lost my hardcore too. I was actually always drunk, playing hardcore, which is probably a bad idea, but yeah.
Hey, some people die because they get uptight. As soon as something goes crazy, they start panicking, and then they start smashing their face on the keyboard instead of thinking.
Dude, they just slam their whole face on the keyboard. No, that's counterproductive.
Yeah, toward the end of the last season, I had finally gotten a double Unity, and I haven't really been playing on US for a while. I was playing only on the PTR for 3 months. That kind of retarded my overall progress, but I had been doing. I think I was on GR35 I had done, and then I got double Unity. I'm like, hey, I'll try a 40. I think it was 39 or 40. I'm like, is it wise to jump up 4 Rift levels with hardcore right before the season ends? I'm like, whatever, try it. And I actually succeeded, but it was I had mentioning the tensing up. I was very tense suddenly. I'm realizing I'm like, I'm afraid to get one shot out here. I haven't even tried double Unity before on this character. It's like I have no idea how much this mitigation is going to help me, and it helped me quite a bit. And everything was happily ever after. So worst story ever, but it was tense for a moment there.
Yeah, it was tense. Yeah.
Of course, I'm doing it 2 days before season 1 and before the season 2 started. So I'm like, even if I die, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm only going to play season 2 for the next 9 months anyway. given the pace that Blizzard puts seasons out with.
Yeah, but speaking of the Unity thing, I had really considered going softcore instead because I died twice in Season 1 right after getting the Unity thing. And then you have to find it all over again. And I had no luck with Unities. And I found the first set at 5 Paragon 400, I think. So that's frustrating.
And you died again.
Yep.
So, were you guys happy with the overall progress? I mean, obviously you can start a new character anytime you want in Diablo 3. You're not limited, except unless of course you don't have any character slots. But it's funny how you can do this anytime you want, but somehow when it's like a season, it's a big deal. And I looked on both of our U.S. and European version of our clans, and there were 40+ people playing both on EU and then 9 hours later on the U.S. And usually at night there'd be like 10 or 12 people playing, so 4 or 5 times the normal number of players. And of course you can start a new character whenever you want, but somehow it's different when it's seasons. So why is it different, Amedon? What makes it so special? Everyone else is doing it at the same time, or what? No Paragon points?
There's two parts there. It's because you get everybody doing it at once, so it's exciting and everybody's in. And then it's just, everybody's finding upgrades and, is excited about, finding a legendary that
you just said a
previously
boot.
was
I heard it.
No, I didn't.
God. You did. I saw it.
Yeah,
you said
did.
a boot, didn't he?
Yeah, you did.
He hella said it. Go to Tim Hortons. Get out of here.
Hey, Tim's is good. Yeah.
It's the best coffee anywhere a boot.
Anywhere a boot.
So what do you think of that, Mokai? You could have made a new character whenever you wanted, right? And when you had your 3 slaves in the dungeons, they were there to support you no matter what you wanted.
Yeah, but I think it just it levels the playing field for everyone, so it gives it a fresh feeling, when everyone's level 1, when we're all struggling for gold, and it brings that sense of like camaraderie, I guess, because like the whole loot share thing, we do that, like my group and I, like when we play, we shared loot to begin with, but this was actually like, hey, I have a helm with a socket in it, do you need it? Just it leveled the playing field, it was fresh for everyone, and I think that's what makes it more interesting, because when you can make a character anytime, but the thing with that is, if you make a character, like if I go to softcore right now, non-season make a character, I can get it power leveled by anyone, but starting out in seasons,
and you've got 800 Paragon points too, so in Twinks, etc.
Exactly,
so.
Like starting out,
it's hard to resist using that stuff.
Exactly, and when you do seasons, you can't power level. You have no Paragon points. You have no money. You have no gold. You have no, flawless royal rubies that you can stick into your helmet. It's all just from like ground zero, and not only are you the only one doing it, but the rest of the Diablo community is as well. So it's nice to be able to track your progression, with other clan members as well as, your friends and stuff like that, because, I know when we were playing, there was definitely some healthy competition going on. Like, we were all just watching our clan because there was, like, 90 people online playing seasons Friday evening in my clan, and we were all just like, oh dude, that guy's already 70, like stuff like that, and it felt nice to have everyone on the same page, you know what I'm saying? So
if only for 2 days.
Yeah, for the first like 24 hours, because now it's like you have people who are already in T6, people who are only in T4, and so then you have some people who are stragglers who are getting power leveled right now, and like right now,
I've got a level 21 Demon Hunter. I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
A bad weekend after work.
Like right now, I'm just T6ing, and I have all the gems already, but I don't have anything leveled, and I have some clan like folk who their gems like are already level 40 plus.
Well, what are you on the podcast, man? You're wasting time here.
No, I'm playing right now as we speak. I'm about to hit 200.
Oh, of course you are.
It's pretty different, and like where it's the same in hardcore, but it's pretty interesting. Like you never see more people die in a 24-hour period than at the beginning of season. It's just clan chats filled with RIP.
Yep.
Which really sucks. You put in like 5 hours. I played like an hour each on US and Europe is all the time I had for, it was 9 hours apart, so I got on again to see how it was going. And you'd see someone die at like 54, and it was like 4 hours and 45 minutes, and it's like they've got nothing,
Yeah, they got zipped.
You've gained, a few gems they've got in their stash or whatever, but if you die once you're in T6, you've got all kinds of Paragon points and all this stuff left over for your next character. It's like you're almost back to square one. It's like, oh man, and plus everyone else now is level 50, and you're back down at level 1. You're trying to get a rush, or anybody want to play with me? Like, no, you're a noob.
No, yeah, exactly.
It's like you'd almost rather die next week, I mean, at least then you would have built up some resources,
At least if you get to 61 and get a few marquee gems, then that'll help. But yeah,
you die and leave yourself a flawless chipped gem. It's like, oh god, this sucks.
Yeah.
You just spent 5 hours just for nothing. It's like dating. Oh wait. So what would you guys do differently? I mean, you didn't. You just did it 2 days ago. I mean, you don't want it again next week, but are you planning for how you will change next time, or was everything perfect this time? You could not improve upon your performance?
I don't have many complaints actually about the season so far. They were hot fixing up until the morning of, and so that was nice to see the involvement from the Diablo team. But no, I definitely would. I'm not looking forward to the next one. I really hate leveling from the beginning, but honestly, actually though, this time around it felt refreshing. It felt good to start fresh and brand new, with a group of people who were in it for the same thing. So, I mean, like I was just telling, my group, we were talking about it when we hit 70, and it took us 6 hours, but, and there's obviously more things we could have done in 6 hours in non-seasons, but it was definitely refreshing and nice to be able to do something and still be productive, like in the game, I guess.
Mm-hmm. You could have 114 greater rifts for one thing. It would have been
yeah, exactly. I mean,
you could have had your 414th furnace or something. So
exactly,
but I mean, it is fun when you in non-season now on my Crusader, right? It's like you're excited every 100th beam you see, right? But then as you're leveling up for the first couple days, it's like the first, every beam you see, it's kind of like, oh, what is this? Can it change what I'm doing?
Exactly. Not even the beam though. It's like, I mean, the feeling I got, when I got like a rare item that was an upgrade, like you don't see that in non-seasons, and
yeah, not exactly,
yeah, and I mean, it's just, yeah, I liked it. It's refreshing. It's a refreshing change of pace.
Like when you're like level 5 and even a blue you're excited about, like, ooh, maybe it's a weapon upgrade.
Exactly. You're like, yes, I have a pair of, boots now with movement speed. That's an upgrade.
Yeah, movement speed's the biggest thing. You're so used to those Paragon points with a new character. I mean, hardcore, you start new characters fairly often, but once you have at least 200 Paragon points, it's like, hey, I'm always max speed. And you start it now, and you're like, oh my god, I am so slow.
Yeah, which was fine though, because like with the Demon Hunter, you got Vault and you got Dash with Monk, so that it was nice because the group that I was in, we didn't have like a Witch Doctor with no movement speed or anything. We had classes
come running up just in time to loot every pack.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we've already killed this. Come along there, Warlock Nurse.
So
any amusing item finds? I mean, I barely had time to play, but I did a little bit. I basically did Act 1 bounties twice on US server, and the second one I got a Ring of Rogue Ranger with a socket at level 21, and I was like, this is just bullshit. I think I played all of Season 1. I probably found 12 or 15 Rorgs and never got one with a good damage stat. Never got a CC, CD, or socket.
Yeah.
Without having to obviously enchant for it or whatever. But of course you're enchanting for a socket. So of course the first one I find now when it's just level 20, I'm like, I'm just gonna think of it like as a really good twink.
There you go.
Because you can start using legendary gems have no level requirement, where they're a fantastic twink if you're playing hardcore and making new classes.
Yep.
So obviously 15 is when you can first start getting sockets and stuff. But you put like a level 30 or 40 gem in your level 1, level 15 character. As soon as you get a socketed ring, and it's like, hey, I win. So I'll just think of it as that way, and then I can only use 2 items of Cane set instead of 3 items of Cane set. Think of the flexibility I'll have now.
Look at all that flexibility when you level.
Yeah, I'm not buying it either personally. So did you guys find a furnace at level 20 or anything exciting and ruin your life there? I think you mentioned that a second ago, Amedon. You found a furnace at low level?
Yeah, level 43. It was great for about 5 levels.
And you'll find your next furnace at Paragon 443 probably.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be pining for one, and I did find a Ring of Royal Grandeur on the way up too, and then I've done who knows how many bounties at 70 now and no luck, so it's not as good as yours with the socket, but
well, mine's level 23 though, so it's pretty awesome. I think it's got 117 dexterity too. Yeah. I think it also has like 3% of it's got 117 life per hit or something. I mean, it's pretty awesome. I got to admit. I don't want to I don't want to show off on the podcast, but it's like the best level 20 ring I've ever seen. So any interesting finds for you, Mukai?
I found a 100% Leoric's crown at level 30.
You can actually use that though.
Oh, I'm
kind
still
of.
using it.
That's pretty good.
But no, I didn't find anything that was crazy like that. I managed to avoid the royal rings until level 70, and then I got 2 with sockets.
You found your first of 7.
Yeah, I got 2 with sockets, and then 1 with crit damage. So I've got pretty much
You're
all
pretty
I
much
need.
done. Yeah, you're done for the season now.
I'm done. Yeah, with royal rings for the season. But I did have a friend that found an SMK at 47. An incense torch at 69 right before he leveled, and
yeah, the loot rain of level 69. Yes.
oh god,
I'm always so afraid like 65 to 70 because anything you find you're just gonna hate yourself for.
pretty much. And then someone found a furnace at like 52. So
of course, some of the stuff can work. When I was on the PTR, I found the Gungdo gear with my monk at like 65. And obviously it wasn't perfect, but I mean, you wanted it for the legendary affix,
Yep.
So I mean, I didn't really mind giving up, 100 less decks or something like that, because you just really wanted the property, so that wasn't too bad. But obviously, a weapon is going to suck because the weapons go up so much in damage once you hit 70.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Gungdo gear, like I'm using it, and it's pretty freaking amazing.
You're finding it useful? Because I didn't find it that useful on the PTR. I guess I was geared way above T6 though on PTR, so it was kind of useless unless I was on a really high greater rift. Whereas you're just sort of you're still gearing up to T6, but like I would just kill stuff before they had a chance to get in a big pack. They were already dead.
Yeah.
It was only useful if I had like massively dense areas. Like waves it was fantastic for, but
See what I'm doing like a group I'm doing kind of like a ZDPS monk, and I'm just pulling and palming everything. And so it's nice because I don't kill anything, but I palm everything, and they die in waves. Like I'll pull and palm, and then I'll dash into another group, and I'll keep them close enough where the first pack, when they die, they will spread to the second pack. And so we're clearing pretty fast, honestly.
Yes, you're doing multiplayer, so that would probably help. I was doing single player mostly on the PTR. Stuff would die so fast it was pointless.
Single player was, I tried it. Like I tried some solo T6 like Act 1 caches, and seeing things blow up, is pretty cool. But you get to single target, and you're just kind of SOL. Like the way I'm building mine right now, you're pretty SOL.
Yeah, by the way, when you say I was pulling and palming on Valentine's Day, that's probably a bad analogy. You should mention that was actually in the game.
I didn't catch that.
I think a lot of our listeners were doing a little pulling and palming on Valentine's Day, to be honest.
It's cool. That's the thing. Like, I had a group, and we were pulling and palming all night long, just
awesome.
A foursome.
Did you give each other cards afterwards?
Yeah, we did. We actually ended up in
nice.
Leia's room, and we traded cards there. It was great.
Good. And you went through her drawers and looked for her dirty pants? That's what I always do in Leia's room. So, any final thoughts for you, Amedon? You're happy with where you're going now? What is your goal for P2? For you going for Paragon 600 or something, or you're charging along in season 2? It's still fun, or do you want to go back to regular with your stronger character now?
Oh, I don't know. Like I think the Crusader new legendary is going to be really cool, but I'm having a lot of fun on my monk, so we'll see. And I still really enjoy my non-season now Crusaders. They really tear stuff up, and they have a lot of options, so they're pretty fun.
This message is brought to you by Blizzard Entertainment and Diablo 3 expansion pack. Everything's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you actually a Blizzard employee undercover?
Yeah. Well,
because you said like multiple positive things in a row there. That's not allowed.
Well, I even that, like, I tried to look at it a little differently lately, and if you like just the gameplay itself after taking a break, they really did a really good job. And some of the stuff, obviously, who knows why they don't fix it, but the game itself does pretty good.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah.
So Mukai, what is your long-term goals here? You gonna try to get to Paragon 883 as well in softcore in season 2, or what? What is your plan? Are you tired of carrying your loser friends, by the way?
No.
You're doing all the work in the game, right? You're doing all the pulling, and they're just running around stealing your kills.
Actually, no. We're getting a good mix. I've got actually playing with two other monks right now, and a demon hunter, and demon hunter's got full marauders now, so we're melting through T6. It's pretty cool. No, I just at this point I'm looking for a torch. I have not found one yet, and it's getting ridiculous because I'm Paragon 201 now, and I can't find one. But I'm planning on hopefully getting as much experience as I can here, because the grind at 800 plus is just ridiculous. It's like 35 bill per level right now on non-seasons, and so I figure if I can get like 600 here, which it is not going to be as bad as 800 in non-seasons, when it transfers over, I'll just get this big lump sum of levels. So that's what I'm planning on doing.
So what is your non-seasonal Paragon?
883.
So you'll be at like 885 when the season ends. You'll play all season for 3 months. Like, hey, I got a level and a half.
I like to think I'll have at least a 900 by the time season ends.
Ooh, that'll be like 20 more points of dexterity for you there.
Yeah, dude, that's like 100 dexterity. I mean, come on now.
That's awesome, man. That'll change your whole build around there, man.
Yeah, so that's what I'm planning on doing.
You can go up to T14 instead of T13 from that one.
Exactly.
Right? Oh wait, no, you can't.
But yeah, and then I'm gonna level up a demon hunter pretty soon. Kind of waiting for all my friends to get all their stuff first. That way I can just leech off of them, which is what they're doing with me right now, anyways. Like with Monk.
Yeah, you're carrying them now, so it's all fair.
And so that's what we're gonna do, and then hopefully we'll hit up Greater Rifts pretty soon because I want to level up my Gem of Ease. Just kidding.
Yeah, once you get to 25, you really want to start doing Greater Rifts, because you want to be able to get those gems. It kind of sucks if you can only do like T4, and it's like, okay, this is going to suck. I'm going to have a bunch of 15% rolls on my gems,
Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean...
But of course, it's so easy to do T6 once you have level 25 gems, so it's like
exactly.
Kind of a catch-22.
Yeah, at this point, I think we're all just farming T6 right now just to get the rest of our gear, visit Kadala, hit her up before she starts being stingy again, because... I don't know. I feel like she's pretty generous at the beginning of the season.
Are you wearing a tinfoil hat? So you're claiming that the odds change over time with Kadala?
I think the odds changed over time with the game period. I mean...
You think they change overnight, probably.
Yeah, like, let's not bring up the double Goblin week, That was ridiculous. But yeah.
And yet delightful.
Yeah, great. The first screen of goblins in a rift was just glorious.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I like during that week, I think I saw 4 or 5 packs. Like it just felt like they just stopped. It just felt like they stopped, and I was sad.
Okay, that's a good note to end the podcast on.
Sadness.
So thanks for your time, guys. I'll be talking to some other people about the game they got to play and I didn't this weekend, and they will be coming up next. So keep listening for more of this first weekend of seasons. And thanks to Amedon and Mokai, and good luck in your rifting, guys.
Thank you.
And
Moo.
Hello, welcome to the Diablo 3 podcast. We are online at diablo8gamers.com. This is hopefully part 2 of our big Season 2 spectacular, talking about how the first weekend of seasons went with people who actually get to play video games, unlike myself. I am joined on the show by N3rdwards.
Hello.
And by Master X.
Hello.
Who will express his natural superiority with his cool podcast name. I will just call him Master. Master, may I continue?
Yes, you
If
can.
he says no, then what do I do? I'm pretty much screwed then. So you were on our pregame show, N3rdwards. I think it was you and Wolfpack talking about your big plans for the season.
Yes, sir.
And Master X was on one of the audition podcasts, and that got excerpted into the main show because he and some other guys talked about cool stuff with a Wave of Trials. So why don't you start us off, Master X? This is your first official podcast appearance. Give us a little bit of your background of how you got into Diablo 3, and then lead us into what you've done so far in Seasons 2.
All right. So I got into Diablo 3 on launch day using my brother's account, and I got through the campaign, and I fell off because it wasn't very fun after that point. I recently got back into the game about 4 or 5 months ago, and have been playing pretty much nonstop since.
Were you playing in Season 1, or were you playing in regular?
I played regular. I only went to season 1 to get the transmogs. I kind of came in late in the season, so it was kind of
Well, that's
it
good because now
was
season
6 to
season
1
2 is
half
your
half
first
a
season.
dozen. Yeah.
Yeah, so your first season is now. So how is seasons 2? How is this weekend compared to your last few months of playing?
This weekend, it's painful. I went with a monk, basically as a comparison for my non-seasonal main, and um, I don't do well when RNG doesn't go my way. My wife will tell you that I get angry and grumpy, and RNG hates me. So I got to level 70 about 10 hours, and it was broken up by a lot of I need a break because this is killing me.
I'm not sure we're going to get into the stories of how RNG affects your real life with your wife. We'll just skip that for now. That'll be a different podcast. So NerdWords, you did season 1 and you were all playing it legit, and then after an hour, people were level 70 because they were cheating their ass off with exploiting bounties. And Blizzard fixed all that, and basically softcore and hardcore were leveling at the same speed this time.
Yeah, it was nice.
Did you enjoy it more, not having to cheat to get to level 70?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, it was really cool. It was fun watching my friends list. Like, it was fun watching everyone else's levels go up as I was going up. I was like, wait, I'm not that far behind, so it's good. I know I wasn't doing the most optimal thing, but I was thinking more long term than short term, anyways, with there not being a conquest. So, but no, yeah, it was really exciting. It was not because I got so deflated because we were rushed the first season, and then an hour and a half in, they ding 70, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm only level 20. How? What happened? And then you look at the forums, and that was that. So it was very nice this time to not have that feeling. But like Master, I have had the same problem with RNG, whereas my friends, on the other hand, are doing quite well. I mean, I'm still doing well, but like my friend, he started a monk. He was part of my group that rolled with us, and he's full Sun Wukong set, got a Grand Incense Torch already. Just disgusting damage. He can carry us through T6 like it's nothing right now. Whereas I've found a Marauder set piece and a Con set piece, an Inna set piece, and only one Firebird set piece at this point. And I'm Paragon.
And you're playing a wizard, so
yeah, and I'm playing wizard, and I'm Paragon 106. And I've found
it sounds like a hint from the gods of RNG.
Yeah,
playing a different class.
It's insane, but it's been fun. Yeah, no, I definitely plan on leveling something else. Watching my friend play his monk has been way too cool, but that seems to be what everyone's playing right now. But it's nice to see the monk getting some love because that class is really, really cool. And right now it's fun to play with for sure.
Of course, on the bright side, you have so much more improvement to go, and your friend's already pretty much maxed out. He's just min-maxing for the next 3 months.
Well, see, that's what
whereas you haven't done a damn thing yet.
The funny thing is that's what he thinks, but he still has a lot of. I mean, he's doing good damage, but he's not doing great damage. He's got a good set right now, so he has his bonuses and he's got constant, spirit regeneration and stuff never runs out. But he's not doing. I'm actually doing more damage without Firebirds than he is with his full set. But I mean, that's neither here nor there.
So you said you've had really bad RNG there, Master. What's you just been not finding? Have you been finding items for other classes, or just bad rolls, or what were you doing? What was your class? Were you hoping to find, and what have you found?
Well, I'm running monk. I've been hoping to find Gundo gear, Sun Wukongs, and Inas.
So basically, what NerdWords friends are wearing right now?
Yeah, I was about to say my friend,
Exactly.
The first legendary he got at 70 was Gungo gear.
Yeah. Well,
and Master X just shut down his Skype
yeah,
and walked off
just
to
quit. Yeah,
stare into the distance.
No, it was deflating because I was like, man, come on, really already? All right, cool. So, but yeah, he's stacked it up pretty nice so far.
Yeah, RNG has been pretty on and off. I actually got the vault pretty early because my brother's the luckiest person I know, and he was playing with me. But I got Gundo gears, and I have no other legendaries. I think I recently got Crudus boots off of Kadala, which was very lucky, but I got nothing. I don't even have a Ring of Royal Grandeur.
Did you find any on the way up to 70, or not even then?
I got a few here and there, but as you know, when you're going up to 70, even legendaries are replaced pretty quickly as you go up in level.
Yeah, I don't want to tell I told the same story on the first podcast, which of course you guys didn't hear, but the listeners did, so I won't belabor it. But I did. I only had a brief time to play, and I got to level. Basically, I did Act 1 bounties twice in 2 straight games on my Demon Hunter on US, and I ended it right when I got my second cache, and I got a socketed Ring of Royal Grandeur at level 21. So I'm like, well, that's just bullshit.
Yeah,
I played the entire last season and found about 15 of those, and never got one that had never had CC, CD, or a socket.
Yeah.
And the first one I find in season 2 at level 20.
Oh, of course, right?
Ouch.
So I'm like, oh, that's just awesome. I have the best twink ever now, wonderful. So that's kind of what other stories people were mentioning on the recording when you guys didn't hear, of course, but level 47 furnaces, that kind of thing. So it's funny that your friend got a Gungo at 70, which is perfect, of course.
Oh yeah, no, he had found a Ring of Royal Grandeur at 62, and he was like, oh yeah, and he was like rubbing it in, like super stoked. And I was like, yeah, but that's 62. So I mean, it's still got good stats because it's in the 60s, but it's not.
Well, it's
70.
like 100 less main stats.
Right, exactly, which isn't that big a deal. But I was like, but you wanted that at 70. He's like, yeah, I know, but whatever. And then sure enough, he gets Gungo gear, and then we just ran like a run of bounties just for fun, like in between rifts when we were bored one time, and he got a Ring of Royal Grandeur with the socket, no problem. It was like crit chance, attack speed. It was crit chance, attack speed, and dex, and a socket, and he rolled the attack speed into crit damage. So he's like best in slot, like Ring of Royal Grandeur already.
Well, once again, he's got nothing to look forward to.
Yeah, no, it's kind of insane. But no, he has a lot of room to grow. And plus, they're still kind of working out the tweaks. 'Cause, I mean, like whether Gungo gear is actually worth it or not, end game for greater rifts and stuff is still kind of debatable. So it's really a matter of what you're going for, but. Like I'm going for pushing greater rifts, so I've got a long time. Even if my progression was good right now, before I'll be satisfied with where I'm at. But hopefully, I'll get kinder RNG soon.
So we kind of cut you off there on Master X. So what is the problem? What has not been happening for your RNG?
I'm just not getting any set items. I'm not getting any rings from my Act 1 bounties or anything like that. And because it's not like leveling where it's just a time investment, it's RNG, it's really easy for me to get disheartened and just kind of like, I need to take a break now.
Are you playing in a group of other people, or are you doing it solo?
I'm doing it with my brother mainly. I've been going to pubs from time to time just because my brother's not on all the time.
So has your brother found everything awesome so far and you're getting nothing, or you're both batting bad luck?
I think we're both batting bad luck, but he's also already got a Ring of Royal Grandeur. He got a Flying Dragon pretty early on into 70. He got the Vault before me, and then he joined me and we got another Vault because I hate him.
Well, you only need one, really, so.
That's true.
I haven't found one yet, but I haven't really started farming for that just yet.
So are you totally broke on gold, or what?
Me? No, I'm fine. I know how to manage. I mean, I've done this enough to like know how to manage it where I just don't spend anything. Like literally, I don't plan on even re-rolling an item until I'm Paragon 200. There's not a point. Everything I have, I'm going to replace anyways. I'm just wasting shards otherwise. I'm sitting on like a ton of materials right now for when I hit a certain level. It's really tempting to like try to min-max those little things when you're, getting these like items and re-rolling them and whatever. But I'd rather focus on like the meta game, the whole game, and not worry about the first 4. I mean, we're in the first 2 days. Like, you're talking about bad RNG, and that's totally true, but realistically, the bad RNG exists because you see good RNG on other people. Realistically speaking, the fact that you're doing probably, Torment 2, Torment 3 already, like, in a day, like, I'm doing Torment 6 in a day, and I don't have any, good set pieces, but, like, compared to the way the game used to be, I feel like, it's still a lot better than it ever was. It's just, when your friends are getting those really good drops, you're like, man, I want that, but it keeps me playing, so it's a give and take.
Well, that's like the problem when you have a big friends list, or if you're in a clan, there's 50, 60 people playing, because then you notice people who find the awesome stuff, and the 57 people that have found crap, you don't notice.
Right.
It's the 2 guys that have found the awesome item. You're like, oh, that should be me.
Mm-hmm.
And of course it should, because you're special and they're not.
Right. That's how it works, right?
Explain that to Jay Wilson.
Wilson.
And of course, you're playing softcore too, so you don't need to min max.
Yeah, so I don't
if
matter.
you die, big deal.
Right,
Can you imagine if you were softcore, how differently you would have been doing it so far, Nerdwords?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure you never died yet, so it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, ever
right?
died? No, I haven't. No, actually, I've died quite a bit because, like I said, my friend, last season I did really well. Like, I still kind of keep an eye on survivability and stuff, as much shit as you give me. But the with my friend though, like with him being in T6, we're like letting him like, hey, you take the torch, you're carrying us, so you decide what we do. And so if he wants to go to T6, I don't question it because I'm getting drops. So whatever.
Yeah, that's where the rewards are. So of course.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk. I'll take T6 runs where I die a couple times.
So how did the party stuff work out? I mean, did you have plans? I mean, were you like, you're gonna be, your friend, you're the pull guy, you're the tank, you're the artillery. Were you guys really organizing your stuff? Obviously not so much you, Master X, with just your brother playing, but You had you had a whole party, N3rdwards. How was it planned out that way?
It was good. I mean, we didn't do like specific role settings because with Diablo, it's hard to do that. You just kind of like take what the gear gives you. And we weren't feeding. Like I've had the idea of feeding a character because I know some people do that where you'll run a 4-man group. Like you'll run 4 wizards, right? And all 3 wizards will just give the best drops to the 1 wizard, so he's carrying everybody, and everyone else can just kind of pick up stuff as
That
they
would be
go.
you, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it would depend on who got the
yes.
drops, really. But I've never done that before. I've thought about it. All I did really was just have our groups, our classes mapped out. We had a good spread. We had I was playing a wizard. My friend was playing a monk. My other friend was playing a demon hunter, and then we had a couple friends that would switch out that were either playing barbs or crusaders. We had a firm 3-man group with like a 4th one that would come in and out, and which, by the way, barbs right now are just disgusting, especially early levels, early into the season. That is definitely one of the fastest characters to get up there. I kind of jealous actually, but yeah, but we had we didn't have specific roles, just kind of like an idea of what we were going to do, and then as we started getting drops and stuff, obviously that evolved. Like I was pretty much running the group and dictating things. I know I play a lot more than most of my real life friends, so I know kind of where things are and what to do and what's more optimal, at least to a point. And but when my friends started getting a grand incense torch and all full Sun Wuku set, it was like, okay, so maybe you should be calling the shots, and I'll just leech off you until I get up there. So
Well, he is the gun, and you're the aimer.
precisely.
It's a horrible metaphor, but just tell him where to go, and he destroys things.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, and wizards are not great for group play right now, anyways. I mean, even with our full Firebird set, dot damage isn't as good as direct damage. So, I mean, wizards aren't doing well in group play, but I mean, you can still play a wizard well in a group, I guess.
Is that a function of build, or that's just the way you're playing it, or you think there's no wizard builds that really work for that?
Not really. I mean, it's not that no wizard is good ever or that they're awful, but it's just that when you can have a monk that can do these different party buffs. I mean, our party buffs are elemental exposure and conflagration, which are terrible party. I mean, they're all right, I guess, but they're not on par with what a crusader can do for a group or what a witch doctor can do for a group. So higher end greater rifts, people that are really competing on the 4-player leaderboards, wizards are not a part of that conversation pretty much at all. But that's also a testament to Firebird set. That it's a really great solo set, but you're running around dotting stuff up and running. You're constantly moving, so there's not a lot of group ideology in that, I guess. I don't know. It's weird to play in a group of people when you're running a Firebird set because you have to really change the way you play as opposed to how you play when you're solo.
Yeah, probably easier just to the build. The last show we just recorded, Mokai's group, he was 2 monks and 2 demon hunters, so they were all sharing dex gear, and the monks were just pulling everything, and the demon hunters were just obliterating stuff.
See, that's a great idea.
Artillery,
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
So they said they were already P200, and he went from 198 to 200 while we were recording the podcast. So he was just zapping through.
Nice.
Of course, softcore, so why not, right?
Yeah.
So, are you regretting your system so far, Master X? I mean, you obviously had plans for the season. You've had horrible RNG. If you could go back and change it, take those 12 hours of playtime or 20 hours of playtime away, would you? I'm just going to play a wizard instead or something. Or are you happy with your plan? Is it going to be worth it long term?
I am. I'm very happy with the monk. I think Gungdo.
Except for hating the RNG and being depressed. Other than that, you're happy. Right?
Yes, I am. But with the Gungdo gears, it serves a specific purpose. With the exploding palm, it's really hard to get those really massive chain reactions unless you exploding palm everything in sight. So if you're not really paying attention, Gungdo gear can still lead to a really good chain reaction, and it's very satisfying to see enemies go up into the stratosphere and things of that nature.
Yeah, I had it on the PTR, and I was mostly playing solo, and eventually it wasn't very useful unless I was on a really high grader rift, because I was good enough that T6 was just laughable, and it doesn't do you any good on T6 because stuff dies before you get those huge packs. But just talking to Mokai, he's already found one on his monk, and he said it was fantastic in 4 players because you're just getting, obviously the monsters have higher hit points in 4 players. Oh yeah, it's disgusting.
It's really for 4-player T6 rifts, Gungo gear. I'm pretty sure there's not an item that comes close to it. It's disgusting. Because I mean, the thing about that is it actually affects the whole party. That 20% buff. I mean, if you're using Flesh of the Week or whatever, I don't remember what the rune is, but that applies to me. That applies to everybody. So when that exploding palm chains to the entire room, I'm now doing 20% more damage, so on and so forth. See, wizards don't have that. That's monks are in a really good spot right now.
Wizards are naturally antisocial.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. No, it really is that way. I mean, it's kind of cool though. I don't know. I like the class. I love my class. It's just very different. But I mean, they want different ideas for different classes, so it's not a bad thing.
Could Blizzard introduce in the expansion we all assume is coming up a 7th class that would supersede Wizard in your affections?
No, I don't want.
Is there any
I don't
possible
why-
class that could ever exist?
I love that everyone wants a class per. I don't want a class. Spend that development time giving me more content or more story or more something else. Like we've got 6 classes that are pretty. I mean, like what are they going to add? I mean, I know they could add like a druid or I guess an assassin, even though a demon hunter is kind of like a bastardized assassin. But I mean, They've put the flavor of a lot of different characters from the old Diablo games in these characters already. Like I'm ready for them to either move on to something completely new with a character or just not even do a character and give me more story, more content, more stuff to do.
For that campaign mode that you play over and over again?
Yeah.
That story you want to
Well,
soak up?
I mean, I love the story stuff. I actually do play the campaign pretty often, actually. So I just like running through. I mean, it's especially if you're doing certain zones and stuff. My thing is that when I get to where I can do T6 pretty comfortably, I like to do the entire story mode from start to finish on T6 and actually like listen to the story and like go through it again. So I don't know. I'm weird.
If you hear that scratching noise, that's a Nerdward's nose rubbing the mic as it grows longer and longer as he talks about playing story mode, which he did once. He did once in May of 2012 and never since.
Not true.
What are you, 9-ball? You play the story mode? What is this?
Actually, me and Nibel have talked quite a bit about lore. We're both. I mean,
Well, you deserve each other.
I know, right? I know.
And now gay marriage has been legalized in Florida, so you can be happily
Well, I'll just
ever
have
after.
I mean, I'm only like 6 hours from there, so I'll just head down.
Oh, there you go. He's only
Coming,
6 hours
Nibel,
from you.
coming. But
You can meet in Alabama. It's halfway.
No, I've always loved the story for Diablo. That's what tied me in when I played the first game, so it carried over.
So explain to him why the story is not relevant, Master X. Or perhaps you agree with him.
I completely agree with him. The story is the most amazing thing there is. It's the most influential to me story in all of the Blizzard games. Just Diablo in its entire arc is amazing.
I hear Chris Metzen rolling around in a pile of goo as he listens to your voice. It's like, oh yeah.
I agree.
Oh yeah, tell me that story, boys.
No, yeah, I've always liked Diablo because it's so different. The story for Diablo is very different from almost any other game, and really any other creation story in general. It's pretty interesting.
Sheablo, yes or no?
I liked it. I mean, there are things about the story in Diablo 3 I did not like, but Diablo being a female frame didn't bother me.
How about you, Master X?
Same thing. Did not bother me whatsoever.
How about the most iconic character in the history of the entire game, Deckard Cain, being killed by a random butterfly queen NPC who you never see again?
That I did
Yes
not
or no?
like at all. But
That could have been a little better, you think, maybe?
well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that could be better. I could go on for hours about what I think could be better, but
That'll be next week's show, by
yeah,
the way.
I did, however, like the retcon though to Magda and like how she tied into the story with Adria and them running the coven and all that. So, like that was really actually kind of cool.
Yeah, the whole Yorick second zone thing worked out pretty well. The whole Prince Aiden. That was pretty clever Metcon.
Yeah.
I really like the memories of old school Diablo 1, finding the pit and having Lazarus and Aiden, and God, that is the reason why I play Diablo still. I love the gameplay, but that story is what hooked me when I first started.
So what do you guys, what's your overall take? We're about wrapping up here on Season 2. You're happy with it so far? You like I mean, obviously you can make a new character anytime you wanted. You could have made a new character last week and started over again. Mm-hmm. But just when everyone else is doing it at once, it's a whole different thing.
Well, see, I can also do it for hardcore eventually when I really go for it. So, but
yeah, we'll come in for the barbarian too, just to complete the fantasy.
Yeah, that's why I keep hardcore just sitting there, because I can always be like, you know what, they're not doing seasons now, but I could still do it. So whatever. But no, I'm so happy.
You only got 5 classes to go too. So
I'm Flux. I'm making a change. I am setting a goal to level all classes to 70 before the season is up. So you will hopefully
you
be.
just want the achievement. You're gonna get a gym of
Yes, I absolutely do want the achievement, and yes, Gem of V's is in there now, so it will make it much faster. But either way, I'm gonna do it. So whatever.
That'd be real impressive. So how do you feel about that, Master X? Are you planning that way?
I'm really enjoying my my season so far. I'm only going to be thinking of doing a Crusader. The monk fits me really well, so I'm not really that interested in going into the other classes.
I guess that also
But
depends
I hear which is the best class.
I guess it depends on
The best
how long
solo
the
class,
season
right?
is as well. If the season lasts another 5 months, then I'll definitely be doing all classes. But if it's only 3, then maybe not all.
Well, they said shorter, so hopefully they'll actually be shorter.
Yeah, hopefully so. And,
Yeah,
and
it's
hopefully,
kinda
and
nice
hopefully
for
they
girls
don't.
to do that.
Hopefully they don't release the patch on, like, I don't know, Thanksgiving or something.
Yeah, it'll be the day before some huge holiday.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I've been at work all weekend. I've played like an hour total since the season started. It sucks. And I gotta edit this podcast and go to bed after this. So maybe Monday I'll get to play some.
That grown-up life, man.
There'll still be level 20s I can play with on Monday, right?
Yeah.
Level P220.
If you were softcore, I'd power level you.
Yeah, well, that's the point. I must earn it myself.
Yeah, that's true.
Like like Grandpa and back in the old days, and then the settlers and saving America from the evil Red Indians.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? That's something that I would like to say too. For people that are frustrated with RNG and frustrated that I'm also having a bad time with drops, just keep in mind that your friend's character progression doesn't mean that that's the majority or your character progression. Just chill. Just enjoy the game. If you're on Torment 3, it doesn't mean you're less of a player because in 3 weeks you're going to be there anyways. Just let it happen.
And there's always a chance you can hack their account and delete their characters.
There
too,
is that,
so.
and they may quit. I mean, if your friends are like my friends, they'll play for 3 weeks and they'll stop playing and they'll come back and I'll be Paragon 600 and they'll still be Paragon 100. So whatever.
And you'll still be carrying them.
Exactly.
And then who wins?
So any final thoughts, Master X? How is seasons working for you so far? What would you change? What's different? What's your final thought?
No thoughts. I'm an empty vessel.
Well, you're Merg. You're not allowed to think anymore, so
Yeah, pretty much.
it wouldn't do you any good. So you're ready to roll. I mean, what are your long-term plans? What is your? Do you have a Paragon goal? You can get Paragon 500 in season 2 or something, or?
I think my Paragon.
You're just playing and having fun.
I'm playing and having fun, but I do want to invest more time in this season than last season. So I'm going to set my goal as Paragon 400 before the end.
That'll be good. Then your total once it adds up after the season will be Paragon 402. So.
Do you have a greater rift
right
goal?
Up there.
Because I set
Pretty
my goals
much.
in greater rifts, not Paragons.
Well, that's because you're hardcore, dude. I mean, figuratively speaking, obviously.
I don't much like hardcore. It feels too much like a dick measuring competition, but I see the time investment.
Why would you not
something
like
more.
that? As long as you're not the judge, it's not so bad, I guess.
I got a small penis. Leave me alone.
Master's my new friend.
Oh my god. Digressions. Ironically, you're the only one who's here who's not drunk on this podcast. And somehow you're talking about dick measuring contests. So anyway. Okay, so that'll be your final thought. Diablo 2 Season 2, dick measuring contest.
For hardcore.
Okay, guys, thanks
Put
for
it on a
talking.
coat. Put it on a shirt. Sell it.
You said hardcore, but how else would you measure one? Oh God, I have to way too much wine here. Okay, you're listening to the Diablo 3 podcast. We are online at diablogamers.com until the FCC hears this and cancels us.
Yeah.
And good luck in season 2, guys. And thanks for your time. And moo.
Moo. Moo.
Moo. Moo. Okay, good enough.
All right.